Lisa's first studio album Alter Ego has exceeded 1 billion plays on YouTube Music. Earthquake by Jisoo has now surpassed 80 million streams on Spotify. It is her third song to reach this milestone. Rosé has now surpassed 3.5 billion streams on Spotify, becoming the fastest female Korean soloist in history to achieve this. Billboard selected the 20 best musicians looks at the Met Gala 2025 and Jennie ranked 6th, the only K-pop idol on the list. Warner Bros. Started following Rosé. They started following Messy after it was published. The only personal Instagram account they follow right now is Rosé. Warner Bros. Is one of the world's largest film production and television broadcasting companies. Rosé owns all the highest debuting songs by female K-pop soloists on US Apple Music in history. Jisoo has consistently dominated the influencer rankings for 3 consecutive years. In 2022, she was named the #1 top-performing fashion influencer by Lefty with a staggering $198 million EMV. In 2023, Launchmetrics crowned her the top influencer of the year, generating $139 million EMV. And in 2024, she secured the #1 spot once again with $227 million EMV via Lefty, also being recognized for her noteworthy ambassadorships. According to Talk of the Charts, Rosé and Bruno Mars APT is now the 17th biggest global chart hit of the decade. It is the only song by a female K-pop act to rank in the top 20. Remarkably, APT was released just under 7 months ago on October 18, 2024. Jennie's first studio album Ruby has surpassed 1 billion plays on YouTube Music. Also, Handlebars by Jennie and Dua Lipa has surpassed 90 million streams on Spotify. Rosé is now the 4th most consumed artist worldwide across all platforms, surpassing Kendrick Lamar. Rosé and Bruno Mars APT is back at #1 on YouTube United States daily top music videos chart. APT has now spent 105 days at #1, the most for any music video on the said YouTube US daily chart. Jennie joins IU as the only female K-pop soloist to earn over 8 billion streams on all audio-on-demand digital streaming platforms globally. Rosé's APT with Bruno Mars is now the longest-running top 10 hit by a K-pop act in global Apple Music chart history, surpassing BTS Dynamite. APT is currently charting at 6. APT returns to #1 on the worldwide iTunes chart for a 140th day. It extends its record as the longest-running #1 by a K-pop act in history, and Messy charts at #5. And APT stays at #1 on the global YouTube top music videos chart for a 29th week with over 28 million views. Jennie was the most streamed K-pop artist on Spotify this week in the world's leading countries, United States, France, Australia, and Canada. Lisa and Maroon 5's Priceless debuts at #20 on the global YouTube top songs chart with over 16.1 million streams. Rosé's Messy earns 2 million unfiltered streams on Spotify in its first full day, marking the biggest streaming day for a song from the F1 movie soundtrack, while climbing to a new peak of 61 on the Apple Music Global chart, highest peaking OST by a K-pop act in history, and reaching new peak 47 on Apple Music US. Jennie becomes the first K-pop act to have 2 songs spend at least 50 days within the top 10 on global Spotify with One of the Girls and Like Jennie. Maroon 5's and Lisa's Priceless officially enters the top 15 on this week's published US Hot AC Radio chart. It's now Lisa's highest charting song at the format. Maroon 5's and Lisa's Priceless officially enters the top 25 on this week's published US Pop Radio chart. It's Lisa's 3rd song to reach the top 25 at the format. Jisoo has now surpassed 1.3 billion total plays on YouTube Music with only 7 tracks under her profile. Rosé's Rosie has now sold over 300,000 units in the US this year. It remains as the best-selling album by a K-pop act in 2025 by total units. Jennie's Like Jennie ranks at number 9 on this week's United World Chart with 158,000 points, extending her record as the longest charting solo song by a K-pop female soloist in the top 10. Like Jennie remains at number 1 on Melon Daily Chart for a 14th consecutive day. Lisa reaches a new peak of 110 million monthly audience on YouTube Music, currently the 5th biggest by a K-pop soloist. The Boss and Lisa Ultra Open headphones are officially sold out. This exclusive release sparked overwhelming demand. Jennie and Lisa look stunning together in a new photo from the Met Gala. This year's AMA's voting ends on May 15th. Rosé is nominated for 2 awards. APT remains inside the top 3 on this week's Billboard 200 and Billboard Global XL US for a 29th consecutive week. Jennie's Like Jennie holds at 4 on this week's Billboard Global XL US. It's the longest running solo top 10 by a female K-pop soloist. Like Jennie is now the 6th longest charting song by a K-pop act in the top 10 of Billboard 200 XL US, surpassing Jungkook's 3D. And it ties BTS Butter and Jungkook's Standing Next to You as the 6th longest charting song by a K-pop act in the top 10 of Billboard 200 XL US. Additionally, Jennie's Like Jennie remains at 6 on this week's Billboard Global 200. It's the longest running solo top 10 by a K-pop soloist and is now the longest running 2025 song in the top 10 on Billboard Global 200, surpassing Bad Bunny's TTMF and Lady Gaga's Abracadabra. K-pop acts with the most songs over 50 days in the top 10 of global Spotify chart: BTS, Jimin, Jungkook, 50-50, and Rosé with 1 song on number 2, while Jennie on number 1 with 2 songs. Lisa's Born Again with Doja Cat and Ray has surpassed 90 million views on YouTube. Best-selling K-pop albums in 2025 so far. Rosé's Messy from F1 the movie jumps 22 spots to 79 on the Spotify Global Chart with 1 million filtered streams and makes its debut on both the US Hot AC and Pop Radio, marking the first entry from F1, the album, to chart on both formats. At the same time, Like Jennie charts at 9 on global Spotify with 3 million streams, extending its record as the longest-running top 10 song by a female artist in 2025 and rises to 38 on the Apple Music Global Chart. Lisa extends her record as the most followed female K-pop soloist on Spotify with 11.7 million followers. Jennie has now surpassed 1.5 billion streams on Spotify in 2025, becoming the first female K-pop act and K-pop soloist to reach this milestone this year. Thus, she became the fastest female K-pop act to reach 1.5 billion streams on Spotify in a single calendar year, surpassing Blackpink's record. Rosé's first studio album, Rosie, has now surpassed 3.3 billion plays on YouTube Music, becoming the first album by a female K-pop soloist to reach this milestone. Lisa's first studio album, Alter Ego, and Jennie's first studio album, Ruby, have each exceeded 1 billion plays on YouTube Music. Jisoo ranks 7th in the highest first-day sales by K-pop soloist on Hanteo, and she's the only female artist on the list. Highest debut songs by a K-pop female soloist on worldwide iTunes chart in 2025. Blackpink's Do 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 music video has now surpassed 2.3 billion views on YouTube Music, the first K-pop group MV to do so, second K-pop MV to reach this milestone, third female group MV, 23rd MV by a female artist, and 45th fastest MV of all time. Blackpink returns to the top of the Female Group Reputation Index in South Korea without coming back with new music since 2022. May Girl Group Brand Reputation Rankings 2025, Blackpink topped this month a list with a brand reputation index of 5 million. Lisa is set to drop the music video for When I'm With You with Tyla coming soon.